So we've been going over the 4 components of our missions statement. And we've been talking about follow Jesus, grow together, serve one another, and live on mission. And what are we trying to do? What is the mission that God has called us to do? And when you're a part of New Life Church, you are shouldering that ownership, you're shouldering that responsibility. Shouldering the mission of the church is to reach our friends and family with the life-giving message of Jesus and to see them become fully devoted followers of Christ. So today we are going to talk about the 4th part of this component, and it is to live on mission. Now, I've gotten to do a lot of cool things in my life. I've got to travel to some cool places. I've loved looking over the Grand Canyon when the sun was going down. I've gotten to raft some whitewater rafting in Colorado. I've got to see some cities, in the United States and all over the world. I've coached a baseball team that won state, and that was super good for my ego. But I'm going to tell you this, nothing in this world compares to the feeling of being used by God. Where like the God of this universe is using me to make a difference. He's using me to help someone else get closer to Him. You were created with a mission. That's why when you're being used by God, there's no other feeling like it, because you're like, I'm doing the very thing that God created me to do. Jesus said it like this. I want you to listen to Jesus being on mission. In Luke chapter 19, verse 10, He said, for the Son of Man came to seek and to save that which was lost. He's like, I'm going to tell you the whole reason I came to earth is to seek lost people and to see them become saved. That is His mission. Paul said it this way. This is in Acts 20:24. I want to read it to you. I want you to listen to the Apostle Paul, who I considered, other than Jesus, he's the greatest Christian of all time. He said, I reckon my own life to be worth nothing to me. I only want to complete my mission and finish the work that the Lord Jesus gave me to do, which is to declare the good news about the grace of God. He's like, I just want to complete my mission. I want to finish the work. He's like, this is my singular focus. This is what I am putting my best energy into. If I'm going to do anything with my life, it is going to be to complete the mission that God has given me. And God has given you a mission too. What is that mission? It is for you to reach the people in your life, the people you have influence with, to reach them with the gospel of Jesus Christ, to get them into the presence of God for 5 minutes. It could change anything. To introduce them to the good news of Jesus. It is a saving grace. It's a restoring grace. It can heal marriages. It can change lives. But what we do on this mission doesn't just matter on earth. It matters for all eternity. And at some point in our lives, to do this, we have to say, you know what? I just don't even reckon the other things in my life. They're worth nothing. Because He knows I got things in my life that just when it's over and at the end of my life and in light of all eternity, these things don't matter. It's this mission for Christ that's going to matter forever. So sometimes if you're going to be used by God, I'm telling you what you're going to have to do is just go, I'm going to have to eliminate some things so that my life can be on mission. Several years ago, I was coaching this baseball team, and my very first practice, this mom came up to me after practice and she said, Coach Brown, she said, I just want you to know something about my son. This is a 13-year-old team. And she said, my son doesn't slide. And so I just didn't understand her. So I said, you know what? If he hadn't played a lot of baseball, I'd teach him how to slide. She's like, well, he knows how to slide, but he just doesn't slide. And I was like, I don't understand. She's like, well, a lot of injuries happen when they slide, and he can mess his feet up, he can mess his ankles up. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'll just teach him how to slide head first. She was like, oh, my. She goes, he could die head first. So she's like, he can play baseball this season, but he cannot slide. She's like, do you understand? I was like, oh my God. I didn't even know what to say. So we go through a few other practices and we get to our first game, and just like the Lord would have it, her son gets on first base and I'm over coaching on third base. And the next kid up to bat, He hits a ball that goes all the way to the fence, and her boy runs all the way to second, round second, and he's running right to third. And they're throwing a ball at third base, and I could remember what she told me, and he doesn't slide, but I'm telling you, I couldn't resist. I looked at her boy and I said, slide! And he slid into third base, and he was safe, and he had the biggest smile on her face. But his mama was in the stands. I think her name was Karen. And she came marching out of the stands, grabbed her son right on the field, and quit the game right there. She quit the team and was done. I never saw him again. Thank the Lord. I'm going to tell you, as a Christ follower, when we're looking at all four of these things, follow Jesus, grow together. What do we do? We serve one another, and we live on mission. How are you ever going to do it? You have to have a mentality, I slide. Life isn't about me. It's about following Christ. It's about growing in Him. It's not about me. It's about putting a towel around my waist and serving other people. And it's about being on the mission that God gave me. I'm to seek and to save that which is lost too. So how can you be on mission today? I want you to think about family, and I want you to think about some friends that need to know Jesus. Write their names down on a piece of paper and get them in the crosshairs of your life spiritually. Begin to pray for them. Look for ways that you can bless them. So you're bringing their name up before the throne of God. You're finding ways to bless them. Find ways where you can share your heart, maybe your story with them. Invite them to a service on Sunday. And when we get to the end of that service, if they show up, one of your campus pastors are going to say something like, bow your heads and close your eyes. If you bring somebody to church with you, you get to open your eyes that Sunday. Don't you dare open your eyes if you hadn't brought anybody to church. We'll take you. But when you see your friend lift their hand at an altar call, you're going to know what it means to be a part of New Life Church, to be on mission, and to be used by God. Go have a great week.